Iago, the primary antagonist of William Shakespeare's Othello, stands among the most complex and chilling villains in Western literature. As a character defined by manipulation, calculated deception, and psychological mastery, Iago drives the tragic momentum of the play and embodies the darkest possibilities of human intention. His significance extends beyond the immediate narrative into symbolic, moral, and social realms, making him a compelling figure for literary study and classroom discussion. Role in the narrative. Iago's importance in Othello lies in his role as the engine of the plot. The tragedy would not exist without his scheming. He is the mastermind who plants doubt, orchestrates misunderstandings, and manipulates characters' vulnerabilities to bring about their destruction. From the opening act, he asserts his agency, controlling the emotional tone of scenes, steering conversations, and shaping events to his advantage. Iago's unique power comes from his ability to read others with precision and exploit their psychological weaknesses. In Othello, he leverages the general's insecurities about being an outsider in Venetian society and his tendency to place absolute trust in those he deems honest. Roderigo preys on desperation and gullibility. Cassio takes advantage of the lieutenant's courtesy, interpreting it as evidence of an affair. His manipulations function like social experiments, revealing how easily individuals may be misled when emotions override reason. Crucial to Iago's success is his carefully constructed reputation. Repeatedly called honest Iago by the characters, he hides his intentions behind a facade of loyalty and frankness. Shakespeare uses dramatic irony, primarily through Iago's numerous soliloquies, to contrast what Iago says publicly with what he reveals privately. This gap between appearance and reality heightens the audience's awareness of his duplicity and underscores the central theme of deception. Symbolic significance. Iago symbolizes pure, unmotivated malevolence. He is not driven by wealth, survival, or even revenge in the typical dramatic sense. His actions seem propelled by a fascination with destruction itself. Critics often compare him to the vice figure from medieval morality plays, a character who delights in tempting others toward sin. As such, Iago embodies the unsettling idea that evil may exist without logic, feeding on chaos and human weakness. Iago represents the danger of persuasive speech. Shakespeare highlights the power of rhetoric and insinuation by showing how Iago alters reality simply with words. He never provides Othello with concrete evidence. He merely suggests, hints, and questions, yet his linguistic poison shapes Othello's imagination so completely that perception replaces truth. In this sense, Iago symbolizes the destructive potential of language when used dishonestly. Iago also functions symbolically as a test of societal and interpersonal trust. Othello, Desdemona, Cassio, and even Emilia assumed that honesty and loyalty formed the basis of human relationships. Iago's betrayal exposes the vulnerability of this assumption. He demonstrates how trust, though vital, can be weaponized by those who understand its power. In a broader sense, Iago represents the unsettling possibility that trust, when placed in the wrong person, becomes a tool of ruin. Broader implications. Iago's role in the tragic downfall of Othello cannot be disentangled from the play's treatment of race. He weaponizes the racial anxieties of Venetian society, using animalistic imagery and insinuations to inflame Brabantio's fears and to plant insecurities in Othello's mind. Symbolically, Iago reveals how racism operates as manipulation. It distorts perception, undermines self-worth, and divides communities. His exploitation of Othello's outsider status highlights the destructive power of prejudice. Iago is the catalyst for Othello's descent into jealousy, a central theme of the play. Yet his significance extends beyond Othello. He reveals how insecurity and suspicion can corrupt any individual. Because he exploits the weaknesses of others, Iago symbolizes how external malice often intersects with internal vulnerability. His manipulation suggests that tragedies arise not only from villainy but from the subtle interplay between deceit and human frailty. Iago's treatment of Emilia and Desdemona reflects the era's patriarchal assumptions. He uses Emilia as a tool, dismisses her intelligence, and views women as inherently deceitful. His accusations against Desdemona rely on stereotypes of female sexuality and infidelity. His character thus exposes the gendered power imbalances that allow men to control narratives about women's behavior. Emilia's final rebellion, when she exposes Iago's plot, stands as a counterpoint to his misogyny and signifies resistance to oppressive male authority. On a broader moral level, Iago embodies the theme that appearances can be dangerously misleading. Throughout the play, characters mistake reputation for reality. Othello's trust in honest Iago is the most devastating example. Iago's character warns audiences about the consequences of misjudgment and the importance of critical discernment. His duplicity underscores the human tendency to accept surface-level impressions without probing deeper. Conclusion. Iago's significance in Othello extends far beyond his role as a conventional villain. He is the orchestrator of the tragedy, the embodiment of manipulative intelligence, and a symbolic figure representing the darkest capacities of language, jealousy, and deception. His ambiguous motivations make him a psychological puzzle, and his actions expose vulnerabilities in social structures, racial dynamics, and interpersonal trust. As a character, he forces both characters and audiences to confront unsettling truths about human nature and the fragility of moral order. Through Iago, Shakespeare explores a universal fear, that the greatest threats to our happiness and integrity may come not from external enemies but from those who hide behind the mask of honesty.